Welcome back to the channel. We are here November 11th. I'm giving you this video right now. I'm going to bring it to you early in the morning on Thursday morning so you have all day to look this over, mull this over. This is going to be the Draftkings Showdown for a major in division matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. This is going to be a battle in the trenches with a top tier defense in the Colts and a top tier offense, with especially with the line and the emergence of Derrick Henry on the other side. So this is going to be absolutely insane. You're not gonna. We shouldn't see much. Not that many points in this game. Even though the last time they met, it was 31-17 in favor of Tennessee. This is a little bit different Indianapolis Colts defense with Buckner. Another year older with Leonard. So this one probably low scoring. You're going to be looking at kickers and defenses in this situation most likely. Obviously, the number one guy that we're going to look at is Derrick Henry. Just to look at some defensive stats for both sides before I get into Derrick Henry. Tennessee Titans right here at the bottom, second to last. 11th against QBs. That green right there, that number 6 right here against wide receivers, they give it up to wide receivers at a major clip. And tight ends usually have a good day as well. On the Indianapolis Colts side, across the board, this is a very tough defense. Just follow my cursor. I know it's kind of small. Indianapolis Colts 32nd against quarterbacks. They shut it down. They allow the least amount of points straight across the running backs. They give it a little bit up to wide receivers. Worst matchups for tight ends as well. But this is an in-division matchup. Things are going to be a little bit different. Back to Derrick Henry. Off volume alone, you need to have him in all your lineups. Okay. You see, he came off a bad performance against the Chicago Bears. That's fine. You have to play him. Why would you not play? If you think Tennessee Titans are going to win the game, why would you not play Derrick Henry? Look at the stats. 182 yards, 182 attempts, 843 yards, 8 TDs. You can't bench that. Unless injury happens, you have to play Derrick Henry. That's point blank period. Okay? 21 touches, just the opportunity, and he's the number one option at the goal line. Play Derrick Henry, okay? I understand it's a tough defense. This Tennessee Titans offense has been put to the test the last couple weeks. Colts, they just got off a game against the Chicago Bears. They won that one, tough defense, and they came off a tough game against one of the top defenses as well, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they know what's coming, okay, against the Colts. They know what's coming. They understand. I think the best way to attack this is probably have, if we're just scrolling down at some cheaper options, Trey Burton is a guy to look at because Mo Alley Cox is questionable. Jack Doyle is out. They are depleted at the tight end section. And this is a guy that can definitely put up numbers, as you saw against Cincinnati, 21 DK, and against Detroit, 10 DK. He is going to get used, especially if they are, running low on tight ends. Another cheap option, Jordan Wilkins has been coming on lately. That's up to you. This is very rare occasion where they're not going to give up on Taylor yet, but he hasn't been as advertised pretty much. Where Jordan Wilkins is getting more and more touches. A guy that I really like that's cheap, a wide receiver option against this very bad secondary, even though they did get Desmond King. T.Y. Hilton, he's been so bad this year, and I looked because I remember T.Y. Hilton usually destroys the Titans. It's only like 2-3 games in like the past 5 years, so it's not that big of a deal. And plus, the way he's been playing the last year and a half has been absolutely horrible. He doesn't deserve a roster spot, but Michael Pittman at 4,400, if you don't put him at captain, is a steal. You can put him at captain because I think he's a guy that can definitely take advantage of the secondary. You saw what he did last week against Baltimore. Added 7 targets, 4 catches, 56 yards. Not a touchdown, but that big game is coming. That was his first game back from injury. Colts defense is in play that you can put at captain as well. You're going to need one of these cheap options, and then pay up in your flex. Okay. So Colts D, you choose your kicker. I probably choose Gostkowski's hard to trust. Gostkowski's really hard to trust. He's missed a lot of field goals this year. You could choose either kicker. Titans defense, if they come up big, they are home, so they're going to be a little bit more motivated. Played solid against Nick Foles. If they get pressure on Phillip Rivers, he's a sitting duck. That is also another good viable option. You can do a lot of Titans defense at the captain spot, and then go to Derrick Henry, and that's major correlation in the game. Your lineups have to make sense. Okay, that's how you build a showdown lineup. You have to literally play the game out in one lineup, the whole game. So you can think Titans defense plays strong. They get a couple stops, some sacks, maybe an interception. Derrick Henry runs the ball very well, gets a touchdown. You think that the Titans have ball control, so you need Tannehill. It's all about how you're going to play it out, and then you're going to need a wide receiver to go with that. Understand that A.J. Brown is very expensive, and even though he's the number one, they're going to key in on him. Another guy to go to, obviously A.J. Brown's a great play, but if you need a little bit of a price discrepancy, just drop it down a little bit. You have two options. Corey Davis, I understand he had a bad game last week, but the weeks before, in week 8 and week 7 and week 3, you saw the targets. Okay, A.J. Brown getting all this attention leaves so much soft coverage for Corey Davis. 10 targets against Pittsburgh, another 6 against Minnesota, all double-digit fantasy points performances. Okay, and if you need a little someone cheaper than that, you can go to JONNU Smith. Okay, don't forget what he did earlier this season. This man is being utilized. He's a number 2 tight end, number 2 end zone target that they got. Okay, and when they get in the red zone, it's either Henry or JONNU Smith. Usually A.J. Brown breaks a long one for some reason. All right, so Denver, as you saw, touchdown. He was red hot. Jacksonville, 2 TDs. Buffalo, 2 TDs. The upside is there. Last week, 1 TD. They use him in the red zone. JONNU Smith at 7K is another steal to have. So I can pop him in there. Okay, you're always going to need at least one guy to bring it back with. This is just an example. Okay, I'm just playing out the game in my head. You can go with a wide receiver and still not have Phillip Rivers. Okay, you could. Or you can pair him. You have enough money to pair it with him, because obviously Tennessee has a bad secondary, and you think maybe Tennessee be up, and then Phillip Rivers is going to pay a little catch up, so you can play both of them. You could do it that way. There's a multitude of options. I'm just showing you the good plays for this week. Okay, so you're going to be using defenses, Tennessee and the Colts. You're going to be using Derrick Henry. I'm not touching Jonathan Taylor. It's an okay matchup. The real thing you need to point at is the secondary. That's why I like Michael Pittman. You can go with T.Y. Hill and all you want. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely horrible. I have my fantasy team. He's lucky I still, can make the playoffs. Like, this guy's been bad. 9-5, 8-5. He only has one double-digit game all year long. That's absolutely horrible, and you're supposed to be a number 1. What are you doing? What are you doing? So, you see that there. Zach Pascal, not really looking at him. Nyheim Hines, that's very game script oriented. They have to be down or have to be up really big, and they utilize him. He might break a screen that's really long. But we're focusing on Derrick Henry. We're focusing on let me put Rivers in here. Focusing on Rivers, and you need a pass catcher from Indy. Okay, so my 2 favorite guys that I like are going to be Trey Burton, and they're going to be Michael Pittman. Okay, those are the 1 and 2 options. All right, if you're digging even deeper, I got to look at let's see. No, you're going really low right here. It's pretty much Pascal. That's the deepest guy that I'm looking at. Johnson was a guy that was coming on a couple weeks ago. He's the guy. He's the guy that you can look at. That's a little bit cheaper. You see the targets. They're pretty high each and every week. Even with T.Y. Hilton coming back, week 6 he had 8 targets. Week 7 against Baltimore, just wasn't able to connect and get receptions, but the looks were there. If you need someone, even that's the third option. Okay, is going to be Marcus Johnson right there. But Burton and Pittman are not locks, but the safer guys that you need on this receiving core to go against Tennessee. All right, this is going to be a very, very uh, run-oriented, slow game, defenses on both sides. As long as Tennessee holds the fort, they should be able to come away with this victory. I think they are the better team. They have the better quarterback play. They have the better coach. So we're going to lean on that narrative. So you don't have to do a total onslaught with Tennessee 5-1. This is gonna be a nice mix. This could be a 3-3, 3 Colts and 3 Titans. This could be a 4-2, 4 Titans, 2 Colts. But I don't think it's going to be a clear cutout blowout. So it's going to be pretty even. A nice mix. Okay, so you can throw in, like I said, throw in Titans defense or one of the pass catchers. You can throw Pittman up top since he's so cheap, and then you can really fill it out with Tannehill, Rivers. Get your pass catchers, and then throw in Derrick Henry. All right. That's pretty much all I have for this showdown that's going to happen on Thursday Night Football. I'm leaning the Tennessee Titans, but the upset is there. The line has been moving. This game is almost even. So if you take you can get some good value on plus points on a home team. So I'm leaning that way in this situation, Thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNessJustD. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Thank you guys, and peace out.